It's time to go traveling now that you're retired. Regretfully, retirement's greatest irony is that although having more free time than ever to travel, your mobility has decreased somewhat from before. There are plenty of vacation options that don't require you to walk a lot, even though some cities and vacation styles aren't the best for people who have a little more difficulty getting around. For example, this is probably not the time to go on a picturesque hike in the rainforest. The unfortunate truth is that individuals with mobility impairments travel far less than people without them. According to studies from the Open Doors organization, people with diabetes and mobility impairments typically travel once or twice every 2 years. In contrast, the typical American made at least 5 or 6 trips annually. Most individuals won't have to worry about handling mobility concerns while on vacation, but for those who may, this piece is for you. Consider traveling to one of these incredible locations if you're searching for somewhere to have fun and yet feel like it's easy to get around. Have problems getting around? For now, don't worry. Those who have difficulty moving about will find these trips excellent. Number 10. Take a look at cruise. Cruise ships will be the ideal method to have some much-needed pleasure and relaxation when the world opens again. Cruise ships are well-liked not only for their all-inclusive amenities but also for making things simple. It won't be necessary for you to walk 10 blocks to get to supper at the restaurant. It might just be as easy as using the elevator to get to the restaurant on the top deck. Numerous attractions are available on board during cruises, which can help you save money and time. Additionally, because elevators and wheelchair ramps are already integrated into cruise ships, they make it simple for you to access those attractions. If you're considering taking a cruise, be sure your stateroom is accessible. Larger doors, reduced closet rods, and a respectable turning radius for wheelchairs are frequently features of them. In addition, the toilets typically have handicap-accessible showers and grab bars among other accessible amenities. Simply confirm in advance with the cruise line that you will receive the features you require and desire. To find out when each cruise line intends to resume, read this article from Cruise Hive. Number 9. Hire a camper van or RV. If you're drawn to the inclusiveness of a cruise but find the thought of being out in the open ocean a little, nauseating, you might want to think about renting an RV or camper van. Prevent yourself from thinking, well, that would be great if I wasn't in a wheelchair. Give it some thought for a moment. Accessible rentals are available from several RV and camper van rental providers, letting you enjoy the outdoors without worrying about getting around. You may find an RV with ADA-accessible features using a variety of internet search engines, such as this one from Outdoorsy. If you're renting through a firm, you can also ask any inquiries you may have about specific accommodations directly to the owner of the RV. What should you search for before hiring an RV? Many of the characteristics you look for on a cruise ship will be important to you, but you should also think about things like wheelchair-specific lifts, wheelchair tie-downs, and cabinets that are accessible from a wheelchair seat. Number 8. Remain with family and friends. You might want to think about staying with friends and relatives if you're still anxious about getting around while on vacation. Even while their homes might not contain everything you need, you probably feel far more at ease asking them for what you need than you would approaching a stranger at a hotel. They can also assist you with transportation to nearby restaurants, stores, attractions, and other locations. Number 7. Purchase a travel package. Occasionally, booking a vacation package where the itinerary is pre-made and you don't have to do any research can be much less stressful than trying to arrange a trip from scratch. Even while a lot of tour operators only provide restricted packages for those with limited mobility, some offer a wide range of vacation options so you can travel to places like Rwanda's mountains or California. Despite having varied itineraries and destinations, all excursions share a significant characteristic. They consider the necessity to modify events so that those with restricted mobility can partake in the same experiences as those who are able-bodied. You can also take a tour of well-known locations like Hawaii or several national parks. There is absolutely no reason why senior travel should be restricted. Although it would still be more convenient to reserve these holiday packages with a friend or relative who travels easily, the accommodations for these excursions are frequently still designed to allow you to move around just fine on your own. Many provide comprehensive health evaluations prior to travel and provide individualized support so that you can receive assistance throughout different outings and activities. Number 6. Purchase an elevator. If you have trouble moving around, here's a quick suggestion for choosing a holiday spot. Make sure the hotel has an elevator. These days, almost all establishments are required to include wheelchair-accessible elevators or other handicapped amenities. That might not be the case, though, at certain older or historic hotels. Make sure you do your homework and give the elevator a call before you arrive to make sure it is operational. Not these types of shocks anyway. Nobody enjoys surprises. Number 5. Refrain from long hikes and walks. This one may seem simple, but occasionally you forget to do it, particularly if you're taking a tour package or going on a trip with plenty of other organizations that want able-bodied employees. Make sure you won't need to walk a lot by conducting some study in advance. That goes beyond the simple strolling you may do at different sites. It also covers going to and from restaurants, walking through airports, and other hard-to-avoid but tricky-to-manage activities if you have trouble walking. The secret to organizing trips for elderly people who have mobility challenges is to prepare, plan, and then plan some more. Don't forget to include accessibility considerations in your preparation. Number 4. Hire a walker or wheelchair. Carrying a walking cane on an airline is rather simple, but what about a wheelchair? Renting a wheelchair or walker might be difficult when you're going out of town and takes some previous planning, but it's a useful tool to have, particularly if you're traveling by air. The same holds true for any additional mobility devices you may require that you hire. Wheelchairs of all varieties, including motorized and non-motorized models with extra back support and other specific features, are available for rent. In the end, if you look at each of your stops along the route, you should be able to find any kind of wheelchair you require. Wheelchair rentals are typically available at airports both through airline services and airport visitor services. You could occasionally even ask for an escort to assist you in getting around. This frequently involves payment, but if you can show proof of your condition, the cost is frequently removed. In a similar vein, you can inquire about the possibility of having a wheelchair ready for you upon arrival at your hotel, spa, resort, or vacation rental. Both travel agencies and numerous tourist attractions, such as museums and theme parks, provide rentals. The latter can ensure that all of your lodging arrangements are made in advance. Number 3. Pack some snacks. Although it would be convenient to be able to visit all of your favorite eateries whilst on vacation, the truth is that you will frequently have to wait for a wheelchair-accessible table. These tables are not as common in most restaurants as other seating arrangements. You might even find yourself in an airport far enough distant from the nearest restaurant that it wouldn't make sense to drive there in order to acquire dinner. It makes perfect sense to pack snacks at this point. If you're waiting for a flight, you might not have much time to spare to walk across the airport terminal to the restaurant. So instead of wasting that energy, you could munch on some fruit, trail mix, or other favorite snacks until you find a more convenient place to eat. Number 2. Select a tour operator or travel agency that provides accessible modes of transit. Once more, you might want to think about making your reservation through an accessible travel agency or disability tour provider if you're searching for a more inclusive alternative. These offer vacations that are wheelchair accessible almost anywhere in the world. For instance, Wheelchair Escapes is a wheelchair-accessible travel expert with decades of expertise who can assist you in planning a personalized trip to any destination you choose, including Mexico, Alaska, the Mediterranean, and Scandinavia. In this manner, you won't have to worry about planning a trip to your ideal location just to discover that your mobility limitations prevent you from doing everything you had planned. Number 1. Select cities that are easy to get to. Are you trying to find cities where you don't have to walk a lot? There are several destinations you can visit that are excellent for those in wheelchairs or those who don't want to walk a lot. You can also use the large trolley networks found in many cities. The greatest, most ADA-compliant facilities and accessible resources can be found in these cities. What are your thoughts? Tell us in the comments below and subscribe for more videos.